Yes, I'm back with a bang. The Celtic Unrestricted View. My name's Ryan Clifford, and that's the JP. It's the two Ronnies. It's hello. It's hello from me. It's hello from me, JP. How you doing,
It's
mate?
hello from him.
How you doing, mate? How's things? You all right?
Aye, I'm not too bad, mate. I feel as if this has been an absolute journey itself, just all this waiting. But obviously, international break's been good, Ryan. Scotland, really positive results. Can only bode well for the boys at Bravely Scotland that play for Celtic. So, aye, I'm looking forward to what the weekend now brings up. Obviously, brings us into the Motherwell game. But obviously, as we go on, we'll talk about the international boys and how they got on, etc. Was it positive? Was it negative? I'll all be revealed soon.
I think a lot of positives, mate, again, but a lot of negatives, obviously, we'll talk in the pod. But again, tonight's pod will be mainly due to internationals. It will be about the international games, how players have performed, is it negatives, injuries, etc. Obviously, mate, as well, Scotland doing well, so we'll speak about that. But obviously, international break, JP, what you've been doing, mate, obviously, the Celtic. Obviously, it means you know a lot of podcasts to keep us entertained. But overall, mate, how was your last few days, mate, before Celtic, obviously, watching Scotland?
Aye, well, because there's no Celtic, and it's just torture, innit? It's absolutely it's carnage. Celtic takes you away from quite a lot of your worries and a bit of your stress, and gives us all something to look forward to. And when it's not there, we're all kind of climbing the walls and start causing carnage in other people's lives just because we can't get a date we're in. But no, it's been quiet, right? To be honest with you, mate. How about yourself?
Aye, I'm the same, mate. Quiet, watching Scotland. You're trying to watch your other games as well. People, how other teams are playing as well for other teams. So, aye, I think overall, mate, as well, Scotland. Obviously, I'm guessing you've watched the games. We've chatted about the games, and obviously, the first game against Ukraine as well. Good performance, mate. Again, Celtic boys turned up well again. Obviously, Taylor didn't start the first game, but on that game, mate, again, I think Scotland, I know it's a Celtic podcast, but I think Scotland overall, mate, I think including the Celtic boys, it's positive, the international break. Normally, sometimes you can back for international break, but thinking same old Scotland shite, and sometimes it can be very painful to watch. Again, sorry my image here. But again, it could be painful to watch sometimes as a Scotland fan. And I just think it's new, it's positive. We've spoke personally. I don't really like Steve Clarke's tactics. I don't like the way we play, but the Celtic boys seem to play under it very well. They're not on any hindrance because of what we do at club level. And again, that touched on JP. What we're doing at club level, it shows that the players can adapt, your McGregors, etc. Because they can do it for Scotland. Again, McGregor, very rarely for me does he put in a bad performance. Celtic's had one maybe this year. With Scotland, I think he's always very, very well. He turns up very, very well. So in terms of the Celtic boys, the Celtic in Scotland, sorry, I don't think it's been any negatives really through the whole campaign.
No, there's been a lot of positivity, Ryan. In terms of the Scottish national team's performances, I thought this brief spell, this international break specifically, I think we saw three different performances for Scotland. It was three different types of performance. So the first one was obviously last Wednesday night, and we went hell for leather. We went very attack-minded. We took the game to the Ukraine. We walked away 3-0 winners. It was very good, attractive football watching it. Saturday we played the ROI. That was a bit of it was a hard fought. It was a kind of way to show a different side to ourselves. To use a bit of grit and get in about it, and try and stein the game. You went a goal down as well, don't forget. And to come through the three games, start again, put my teeth in. And then obviously last night you seen a defensive performance. To even still the new, mate, I don't know how Scotland walked away like with a draw. If you look at the performance overall, people are walking away going, especially us, going, we get away with one there, do you know what I mean? But they should have had at least a couple of goals. And I don't really think there was many chances in the game for us, apart from that one by Jack really hot for Hull. I was actually outside because I was panicking. I thought it was going to hit my motor. When he hit it, and I went, "What is he doing, man?" And I'm looking, I'm outside, I've got the old telescope set up and everything, man. My wee boy's like, "What's going on, Daddy?" I'm like, "Nothing, son, just you get back in and now, Daddy's looking for something now." But no, as I say, I think, as I say, three different types of performance, three different sides to our game. And Callum McGregor, I mean, I think that's about 2,000 games now in 14 months or something he's played, man. The boy is just relentless, isn't he? It's a phenomenal engine. I don't know what he's doing or what he drinks, what he eats for his breakfast, what he's doing, whatever he's doing recovery-wise, you know. But to play the amount of games he plays, Ryan, is phenomenal. Like, he's never injured. He's not a touch very bad. I don't like to say that now and then something happens to him on Saturday, but he's never, you know, he's one of the ones, he's always here. He's always, like, even if fans gives him a couple of days off after international break, he's the type of guy that would probably report in, just say Scotland get back last night, he's the type of guy that probably report in this morning. First thing to go. I mean, Juranovic just done it there now on his way back for Croatia. He'd an extra day off if he so wished it. So, but it just shows you the level of, you know, that they're committed to the club and on. What we're trying to do as a club as well, moving forward. Obviously, we've got a big season this season. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of games now going to be crammed in this after Saturday and then onwards. So I think a lot of them, you know, they've got that determination, hunger, desire, whatever you want to call it, to get back and you know, do well. And obviously, you mentioned Greg Taylor as well. I felt sorry for David Turnbull because I thought early 3 games that would have been a decent chance for David to get some game time. You look at terms of guys that were playing. I mean, boys like Kenny McLean and Ryan Jack. I mean, even Ryan Jack, they boys are in out the cold. I mean, that was his first game last night of that whole period. And to throw them in out the cold, it was a big, you know, I know McTominay was out suspended, but he had other options. You know, he could have played, he could have brought Armstrong, he could have played Armstrong from the beginning, he could have played Christie, he could have played, you know, he had other options, he had good attacking options on the bench, and maybe that was his ploy. I don't know, maybe his ploy was to sit in and soak up the pressure, and, you know, and all we had to do was avoid defeat. And we nearly didn't do that. Let's be honest. I mean, that should be all and end all. We nearly lost that game last night because we just didn't look as much as an attacking threat at all last night, at all. And I don't know if that was a tactic, because when they got to like halfway line and then 3 quarters between the halfway line and the 18-yard box, it was as if they were all taking nosebleeds and forgot what to do. They were all just freezing and passing it back to me. I don't know if that was, as I say, I don't know if that was a tactic, but it kind of looked like that for watching the game in the house. But overall, mate, the Scottish boys, I think, will take good experience for it. It's only going to bode well for Celtic. And then obviously you've got the other boys who are with their international team, so no doubt we'll go into them.
In terms of Scotland, mate, definitely. Obviously, Ralston got some minutes, maybe not as much minutes as maybe I still think he should get as much as I know people who listen to the podcast maybe previously. I still think he is really the second in command, third choice, second choice, whatever. Juranovic is obviously going to be the main man, but in terms of right backs for Scotland, if you looked at his stats for last year and this year, he's still playing at a high level. He's playing in the Champions League, and there's guys, I know they're playing down south, but there's guys who are not even playing in that level, either playing against your Bournemouth, etc. But the Champions League is the Champions League. It's a different level. You can even talk about that in terms of like Barry Mackay's getting called up, you've Ken McLean, and there's guys like Ryan Gold, Henderson, you've even got Barry Bannon down at Sheffield Wednesday playing at a higher level. You've got other guys who are playing at a higher level, no one getting a sniff, no one getting a call up. Henderson's played.
They're playing week in and week out.
That's what I'm saying. You're playing. Henderson's played 43 or 44 games out of 40. I think it's 43 or 44 the last I checked. At a higher level in Serie A, Ryan Gold went abroad and played well. Even Johnny Russell in America not getting any more call-up. Ryan Fraser's not really doing well at Newcastle. Again, we can talk about all that for days. Guys who are playing week in, week out. Porteous, again, I thought he played well, to be fair, as well. And he's considering he's not really played for Scotland before. So he done, in my opinion, I know there was a lot of ham and hawing. Will he do well? It's a risk playing him. He's a Ned, he's this and that. And he played well. He was probably a man in the match performance. But again, we touch on this a lot on this podcast with media when it comes to Celtic. Could touch on it on him. Again, it's not really something I want to go on about. I'm just want to mention it. The media still basically, they're still trying to call him a cheat and this and that. That's what he does in his club thing. I don't care about that. I'm a Scotland fan. He played well last night, so don't give him shitty headlines. Give him a good headline. But in terms of us, mate, I agree. Tumble again. How's that going to be from injury wise? Is he going to be longer term? We don't know. We've not really heard much. Again, it's a shame for him because he could have got a wee cap or two, more experience playing.
Well, pretty quick, I know to send them home as well. We're right on accelerator with that.
So I've not heard much about it, mate. I've not seen much social media. I've not heard nothing. So we might get an update with Ange, with his press on tomorrow or Friday about that. And like you said about McGregor, he's absolutely relentless. He's played so many games every year. And some guys moan about playing 2 games a week, and he's done that basically all his career. He's played 3 games roughly a week, sometimes qualifiers, international games, and he's not even getting a break. He's playing every international game, friendlies and everything else. Me and you are like, why does he not get a break? But I think if you were in that situation, you would still want to play for your country. Because for me, every game for your country would be amazing. It'd be a landmark to your career. So, but on in terms of other guys, mate, like you say, I think Atata didn't really play much with Japan, which obviously
he was an unused sub yesterday, and I noticed the first game he wasn't even part of our squad.
So, and Kyogo didn't play much. I think he only played a half or so.
45 minutes, I think he got yesterday.
So I think Maeda played a half as well in one of the games. So they've not had too much in terms of the Japanese boys. They've also had a long travel.
Half injured as well, Maeda.
Aye. So we don't know how he is with that. We've not heard any updates on that either. We just know I seen on his Instagram story actually that he's back in Glasgow. So we don't know how injury wise with him. But again, Hatate should be fresh. Kyogo, obviously it's a long travel, but he should be fresh. O'Reilly scored as well. Good performance. I know he came off. I know he came off as a sub, but I don't know if that was tactical injury. We don't know, but there was nothing about that as well. JJ again, he's played mostly for Croatia as well. I think just about every game he plays for him when he's.
Did he play the second game, Ryan? I don't think he did he?
I thought he played the second game, but he played the first game. He played
he played the first game, yeah.
So for me, again, that shows you as well that when he's fit for Croatia, unless they're resting guys, he's playing. So that shows you as well, JP, what you've got on your hands in terms of quality and the value as well. Jackie Marcus, I know he got a knock, but Gus Poyet did say before the game yesterday against Northern Ireland, they played, I'm sure. I might be wrong. If I wasn't Northern Ireland, was it? Northern Ireland they played yesterday?
They played Northern Ireland. I'm sure they beat Northern Ireland. 3-2.
Gus Poyet did say in that, again, it was a Suns will give or take if it was true, but he did say that it was okay to play, but obviously it turns out he didn't play, so maybe I don't know if that's something for Celtic to say don't play him, I don't know. But in terms of, there's been a few wee knocks, JP, so I don't know what you think, mate, but I think in terms of some of the guys not playing a lot of minutes, it's for the start of the week, sorry, there was a few wee knocks, I'm thinking, fuck, is this going to be a detriment to the weekend's game? Is it going to be, oh no? But I think in terms of, there's not really been much spoke about the injuries and the knocks, so it might not be as bad as we think, but unless we hear much from Ange, for pressers, we are kind of in the dark of what's actually been on behind the scenes in the games.
Yeah, well, I read a couple of reports today. I think Big Carter Vickers is struggling. I don't think he's ready. And that was a Celtic report, but I don't know where that came for the club, but I just read the transcript here. And it was John Kennedy. I think it might have been John Kennedy that spoke about it, and apparently he's not ready. He's not going to be ready. I think Saturday's going to come too soon for him. There's not been any chat about Starfelt. There's not been any chat about Maeda. Abada was allegedly meant to be injured, but he played last night for the Israel under-21s. And by the way, the only reason he played for them was because Israel were actually meant to be playing Russia last night, the senior squad. And obviously that game get cancelled. So instead of sending Abada home, they've decided to play him there along with the left fullback, Ledva, or something his name is. So he played with him, and apparently, but prior to that, Abada was supposed to be getting some sort of note that he was going to be injured, but obviously put that to bed last night with playing. But no, Haskabanovic, he came off injured for Montenegro.
Yep.
Again, the extent of the injuries, Ryan, it's not really been said as to what the injuries are. But getting on to the other side of it, you've got Juranovic, who was supposed to have been a standout the other night for Croatia. O'Reilly scored a cracking header for under-21s last night against Croatia. Don't know if you've seen it. Ball comes there off the corner, and he just headers it down, and it bounces up. Early tap of the defender who's trying to get onto the line to clear it, and it clears the both of them. That was a really good header. And then obviously he get taken off in the 64th minute. But people are going like that, is he injured? I don't know, if you look at the Celtic games, it's run about roughly then, and decides to sub him off anyway, because he's normally put a lot into the game. So, in terms of squad-wise, you're right, we'll not know where we really are until Ange does his presser. I really hope there's not too many casualties, because again, you're going to get the old cliche, fans are going to be saying, well, this international break's really pointless and this and that, and you're going to hear it all. But Ange's already said before, see when these guys get called up to play for their country, regardless of whether it's a testimonial, a friendly, whatever it may be, then it's an honour for the individual to go and to go and do it. But I'll tell you one thing, you talk about Celtic and connections, etc. I actually thought Jack Kendry was outstanding for Scotland over the 3 games. I thought he was one of the ones I went, right, he was really good. He didn't look out of place in the 3 games at all. Thought he was really good. Scored a great goal right good header against the ROI.
Yeah.
But one thing that really annoys me, Ryan, I don't know about you. I know he's loved at Celtic. He was loved at Celtic, and he's no longer with Celtic anymore. But Kieran Tierney standing in his mouth shut when they're not singing that national anthem really grinds my gears, mate. It really, really grinds my gears. If I was in that dressing room, mate, I'd be pulling him aside, going, especially if I was like John McGinn's the acting captain just now because Andy Robertson was injured. So if I was John McGinn, I'd be saying to him, Kieran, meet then. What is going on? Why are you not singing that national anthem? Why did you stun me eyes shut? But he looks as if he's got something stuck at his bottom jaw. Because he does that and he puts his jaw out. And I'm like, but is it? He looks as if he's at a lamb bar or something like that, and it's got stuck underneath his tongue. And I'm just like, what are you doing, Kieran? But it really annoys me, Ryan, because we've spoken about it, mate. It's an honour to play with your country. Regardless of how many times you get to do it, that is an honour to be able to do that. You've got guys who they're no free in Scotland. They qualify playing through family members, etc. Boys like Che Adams, boys like Lyndon Dykes, boys like what's the other boy? McTominay, boys like Big Liam Cooper when he plays. They're all English based that are just qualified to play with Scotland. But when they're standing in that lineup, mate, they belt that song out. You can hear it when the camera goes along the line, basically. And he's the one that's just standing there letting the side down like that. He just looks dead grumpy. And I'm like, no, you're the one that's meant to have a bit more. He was well renowned at Celtic for being dead bubbly and wanting to get the party going and wanting to get everybody all G'd up. But for Scotland, he just stands there at that line. So I don't know, mate. I don't know if it's maybe something that I think it should be made mandatory. That if you play with your country, you need to learn that song. And if you don't already know it, and you need to sing it. Because you've even got part of the coaching staff. I mean, John Carver's no Scottish, and he's standing singing "No Flower of Scotland." We've had guys before. Betty Votes used to do it. He's German. He sang "Oh Flower of Scotland." Albeit people can think whatever they want about Betty Votes, but I'm getting examples here of, other people are doing it. So why,
Yeah.
Other people that are maybe a different nationality even. Why, So, I don't know. It's maybe something I think maybe the Scotland players should look at. Because that's not just the first lot of times Kieran Tierney's done that, Ryan. It's every time, he's there. Watch it. He doesn't sing a national anthem, and it really grinds my gears.
No, you're right. I've seen it at Auburn. Me and you spoke about it personally. I do agree that you should be singing it. I think it's something that it's like us as in the crowd's a fan. I think you should be singing it. You're there to see the squad. You're there to help the team, and you're there to represent the country as a fan. So it's the same as you go to Celtic Park. Obviously, some people don't like to sing, and some people obviously maybe due to health ailments that they can't stand up, but etc. etc. But just sing the song. That's part of the match day experience. You sing walk on before the team comes on. Similar to Hampden, Scotland. You sing it as part of you going to the match day. You get involved in it. I know people might not want to do it as a fan. I get that, but I get you, mate. For me as a player, I think you should want to do it for yourself. To get yourself hyped up, and it must be some feeling. But as a player, when you're for me as a fan watching the games, obviously every game's a big game in Scotland, right? But a big game, like I went to the Euros, right? Obviously I didn't go to the games, but I was doing London, and the full pub singing. You get goosebumps singing it. Yeah, come on!
Well, of course you do.
You get, come on, let's go. So imagine we're on the park and doing that when you're hearing 50,000 fans roaring you through that. That must be brilliant. So I agree with you, mate. I think for me, it's something that should be implemented. Like, listen, even if you don't know the words, right, at least sing something. Make it you're actually doing something. Do you know what I mean? Don't just on them your mouth going, that's brilliant. What I mean?
It just doesn't look right when the camera's going along the line and he's the only one out of a lot of them. It's just standing there with his gob shut.
When you see
it just doesn't that to me. I think it's very disrespectful to your teammates because they're standing there doing it. Why Why is he not being challenged about it? Why? Like, even any interviews after the game, somebody should ask him, like, why do you not do it? Try and get an answer out of him. But there must be a valid reason as to why he's not singing it. Is it just because is it a belief? Is it something that, no, I don't want to sing it? Is it just the fact that he doesn't know it? Then learn it. You've been there long enough now. Surely to God you've been with that squad long enough now that you can learn that song. That to me again would be a mark of disrespect because that's part of playing with the national team, man. You're going away all over the continent with the team. Going to Europe, try to get to Euros, try to get here, try to get there. And you're standing there with your mouth shut every time. There you go, with 3 games. Bang, bang, bang. Right, so Wednesday, Saturday, Tuesday. Now, obviously, he didn't play last night. But he played in the other 2 games. So, why did he not do it in the other, and he never done it in the both of them. It's beggars belief with me. And I can't believe even Steve Clark's not been asked about it. Because, by the way, they're quick to pick up on other things. As to, like say, I'll give you an example. The Celtic fans chanting at St Mirren.
Yes.
But they were quick to pick up on stuff like that. So see something like that. Why did they know? Why are they picking and choosing what they want to ask?
Because I think me and you
it doesn't fit their agenda, mate.
It doesn't fit the agenda because they didn't moan about the Hibs, Hearts, our own national country booed and nobody says nothing.
You've got guys like Alan McCoist and Graham Souness being hypocritical and sitting there, saying they're putting their wee butt in. But you're right, it happened in the first game against Ukraine last Wednesday night. There was nothing said. But yet...
And listen, this is nothing against...
And he's on the commentary. And this isn't new. This is just something that happened in this instance. Things have happened before. But
this is me, no, just because it's Celtic. I'm a Scotland fan. I want us to do well. But when you can't pick and choose what you can put in your papers and what you can't.
Of course.
What you can't bite up. So Andrew's getting asked about this and Andrew's getting asked about this. Souness has put his bit in, McCoy has put in. But because he played with Scotland, I can't talk about Scotland. I can't do that. I can't. But I'll go on my daily routines about trying to get Celtic a number. That's the way it looks. But in terms of, I know people might listen to this, mate, and go, "Oh, it's a bit picky about it." But I agree with you. I really do agree with you that if I was a player, if I get a chance to get 1 minute of a cap, I'd be making sure. Obviously, I can't sing it before the game, but if I get a chance to get just say 1 cap, and I was allowed to stand to sing that, I'd be building it out because it might. I know that might be the last chance I'll be able to do that. I'd take in everything. You can still take in the crowd and you still take in the cameras. If you can't, if you're scared to sing, right, you might know what. It might be stage fright. Some of those guys you go to talk.
At least move your mouth. Move your mouth as if you're trying.
It could be some of those guys.
Don't stand and go.
That's a hang, but mate, it could be.
That looks really silly.
It could be like some of those guys, but mate, you go to the toilet, a guy's next to you, oh mate, I can't pee till you go. It might be him, I don't want to sing because the camera's on me. I don't know, I'm just trying to think a bit of banter here about it, but...
You must be talking for your own experience, mate, because I've never had that in a toilet.
Mate, I get it all the time, a few vodkas, mate. No, mate, on you go, mate, you go first. But in terms of that, mate, I agree with you. I do think it should be something that should be implemented. I'd like to think... It would be spoken about. Listen, this is what you need to sing, etc., etc. Obviously, some of the guys who are no Scottish. Because you see some of these foreign teams, they do all that and they're all belting it out. Everybody's all doing it. But you see some of like you see some of us are like, they've got one guy singing it and one guy half singing it. I do agree with you, mate. But.
I'd be honestly in the dressing room, I'd be rallying it, man. I'd be giving it right. Well, how you not doing it? Because it seems to you every time. You could go back 4 or 5 videos and just go that alone and go, right, well, how? What are you doing? We're all belting that out and you're just standing there with your eyes shut, with your head up like that. It's, in my opinion, it's not good enough. And I'm not just nitpicking, Ryan. To me, that's massive. It's a big thing. You're standing there in a lineup with your national anthem belting out through the PA system, and you're just standing there as if you're waiting in, I don't know, Smith Toy Shop opening up or something. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean. It's kind of, you've got that kind of screensaver mode look on your face. That's still sort of, have you seen this man? Crime watch sort of stare. No, as I say, it's... But getting back to the international boys and that, mate, people say the pros and cons of international duty is, you can have players that are coming back injured. And unfortunately, in this incident, we could have 1 or 2 potentially be coming back with knocks and it isn't what we need, Ryan, because we're going into a run of games now where we need everybody fighting fit, ready to go. I know, obviously, if we lived in a normal world and Carlsberg done fucking football squads, it would be the best in the world. But what worries me is the fixture list we've got coming up. And obviously, you've got a right good run of games coming now. And obviously, if you end up with 1 or 2 big hitters of your team, no rare, could that impact you domestically again? Because, let's face it, mate, the last league game showed we're not invincible. So, if anything, it gave us a wee reminder is to not to get too big for our boots. Not to get too far ahead of ourselves. We think we've got a good team there, but we have, but. That was a big wake-up call, mate, and I think it was a big wake-up call at a time when nobody saw that coming.
No.
Especially with the forum. And all it takes, Ryan, is another 1 or 2 results, and the team start questioning themselves. They start going, what's happening here? And they start looking at one another, and they, you're looking for him for inspiration. You're looking to him, and everybody's fear to your fear to then start making mistakes, and it can creep in, and that's what you don't want. You don't want that to happen. But obviously, you look on the other side, Brian. We've also got people who haven't even made their debut yet for us, and Oliver Abelgard. So, is the big fella going to be ready? Ange did say we would probably see him after the international break.
Yep.
So, come Saturday, is he going to be ready? And let's see if some of our guys like Giakoumakis and Haskabanovic and Maeda and stuff, let's see if they guys have managed to shake off some of their knocks and they get back. But it's good that guys like Matt O'Reilly get minutes, McGregor, Juranovic, done well, good performances. O'Reilly, but he's just off the back of a good win with the under-21s against Croatia's under-21s. Scored a good goal. So hopefully that only bodes well moving in to the next game for them, which is obviously Saturday.
Aye, a lot of people are more negative about the Nationals in terms of injuries-wise. But like you say, positives, guys who might not play week in, week out with us. Like Haskabanovic has not really kicked the ball yet because he's obviously came late. He's went and played minutes in Montenegro. Again, that must as well, for me, and a lot of fans, IP, should bode well because he's not really played much the last few weeks, but yet he's called up to the squad. Yeah. So they must believe in him. The positives for me, I think the positive is, like you say, is guys are getting more experience on the national team. They get experience of playing, i.e. Greg Taylor, not really played much for Scotland, but he's getting more minutes, he's getting involved in bigger games. Obviously, the feel-good factor leaving Scotland, back into a good feel. Well, I know we can beat St Mirren, but the club is still a feel-good factor at the moment. Everybody's signing up for him, the same hymn sheet. You're top of the league. You're still in the cups. Everything's all rosy. I think I call it
media. You were busting into song there, right?
Aye. That's again. Aye, no chance.
You better the Carpenters there. I thought you were going to bust into a wee tune there.
No, that's not my era, mate. I'm too young for that. But in terms of that, mate, you're leaving a feel-good factor and then bouncing back into one. But in terms of the media, you wouldn't think there was a feel-good factor at Celtic because of what happened. But that's for another day. But in terms of the positives, mate, again, I'm like you. I think it's good that guys are getting minutes. So I just think, like you say, hope for the shake off the knocks because that can be the negatives, the big negatives, and obviously the guys travelling. Again, Tom Rogic isn't away this year, so he will probably get a knock or whatever. He might have come back late for the travelling. So again, it's not a good thing with no got him, but in a sense, you're no having that in your squad, thinking, right, Walliger being get injured, is he going to come back fresh? Hatate's not away, no really played, so he'll come back probably playing Saturday, he'll slot in. The team kind of does pick itself when it's fully fit now. But in terms of another thing, mate, I was want to put to yourself tonight, in terms of Scotland, obviously a lot of people, in terms of the living crisis at the moment, some people are cutting back in a lot of things, either food, TV, heating, a lot of things getting cut back. So do you think as well, I know Sky Sports, Premier Sports, BT, they've all got certain rights to certain games. Premier Sports have got the rights to the Nations League. I know ITV and Channel 4 are doing England games and the all Scotland game. But for me personally, do you think maybe the SFA should be fighting? I know they can't really compete with these big TV because, let's be fair, Scotland have no got billions of pounds. But should the TV be free? These Scotland games are getting big games now. We're into the top tier. We're looking forward now to the next Euros, etc. They should try and get the TV, in my opinion, back onto your ITVs or whatever, but Channel 4, Channel 5, but Scottish television should try and get it. Obviously, Scottish TV would be your BBC, but they don't want it. So if it means you need to go to ITV or is it BBC 9, BBC Scotland to try and get this, but I know the BBC don't want it. So I know you're maybe stuck like, who do you try and get to put it on? But surely, I know, but being only fans, I'm going to put this out here to you, mate. Should terrestrial TV host Scotland games? Because I feel you're going to get more viewers because not everybody can afford to get Sky Sports, BT, Premier Sports. Like us Celtic fans, right? Masons have all got, you need to pay, obviously, let's be fair, it's no a secret. Most people have got IPTV. People can come and say, "Oh, what you do that for?" Listen, it's the truth, right? You're getting Celtic TV, Premier Sports, BT, Sky Sports. You've got all this to get to watch Celtic, and then with Scotland you need to get Premier Sports on this. But some people have not got Premier Sports. Some people can't afford the £15 a month or the £8 whatever it is for the 1.5 game Now TV etc. to get all this. So could this be something, JP, that the SFA maybe fight for more, because Scotland are doing well, people are going to maybe view it more, and people might actually go, well, if I can't go to the game, I'll watch it on the telly instead of having to pay, because let's be fair, some people are paying for tickets, but yeah, if you can't go, you then need to pay for Premier Sports. So you're still at a pocket no matter what you do. So could they try and get it free if they could get the BBC to do it or somebody else to let the fans get more value, because fans are paying a lot of money out for their club teams.
I totally agree with you, mate. I think it's something they definitely need. Well, by the way, it shouldn't have been happening. It shouldn't just be getting spoken about now for it to be happening. This should have happened a long time ago. In my opinion, they've never thought about the fans. It's the fans that are always shortchanged every single time, and they're always asked to pay through the nose for things. Football, at the end of the day, is all about the fans. It's not about these commercials and like big companies, but that's what it's becoming now. Everybody involved has lost chain of thought when it comes to what the game's all about. Yeah. And like you just says there, a lot of people can't afford these wee diddy subscriptions, as I call them, because it's just that. Remember, you go back to Sky, and then when it's no one's getting in, Setanta came out of nowhere and all, and it was like, that was another one that people needed. And then it moved on to BT Sport, and people had to go and get that, and BT lost it, and Sky have got it now, and a lot of people gave up their Sky, but then had to get it back because football's went back to there. But then Sky decided to bump all the prices up. But around the whole globe's putting all the prices up now because of what's happened through the pandemic and everything else that's going on in the world. So they've lost everything that football means now, Ryan. In my opinion, mate, they've just totally lost it now. And they're all about their own selves. They're all about their individuality. They're all about, if they're not going to fight to get it put on the TV. That would be too simple, because then they would see that as, well, we're going to lose business, because then we're not going to get it on a big pay-per-view channel, or we're not going to get this, or we're not. But it's not about that, because not every fan can travel to football, not every fan can go to the stadiums, because Ryan, see if you've got 2 or 3 kids, mate, and they all want Scotland taps, and then they all want a hot dog, and then they all want a juice, then these snack bars and all that aren't subsidised either, or whatever you may be, cafes, whatever. And like I just says there, everybody's putting prices up. The cost of living's going up, and run a bit everywhere. But all the jobs and all the employers, all the wages aren't going up to match it either. So football's it has a big impact in a lot of people's lives, because people. It's an addiction that people can get, and people love it, and people get taken to it, and they look forward to the next one, stumbling on. It really affects their mental health, mate, when it's not there. So see, like COVID and stuff like that, it sent a lot of people into kind of disarray in terms of their moods, and everybody was all doing. I mean, football get cancelled, and you went on social media, and it was hardly anybody talking about it, and there was a couple of pages that were brilliant all the way through it. I mean, they done me like vlogs, and they put on videos of old games, and they just kept it flowing. But it wasn't enough of it, and I just thought everybody just kind of let it get the better of them at that time, and in terms of, there was no football, so well, everybody's got. But these big companies, Ryan, have no interest in trying to make it easier for fans. They've just not got the interest, because it doesn't suit their agenda. Their agenda is to make as much coin as they can. Yep,
make as much of that as they can.
And that's all they're interested in. They're not interested in the fan. They don't care. they're just going to say, well, you know what? The way they look at it is, you know what? They're fascinated. They're daft fans. All you're going to do is just keep selling out money all the time. Eventually, it will come to a stop. Eventually, people will start to realise and go, hold on a wee minute, I can't keep doing this all the time and being short-changed for it, and you're not really getting a product, or you're not really getting this, or you're not really getting that. And see, when teams start doing well, like, why is it the owners of these teams or whatever start putting their prices up and all? Mm-hmm. Why would you not want to attract rather than make it harder for people to get to games? It's beggars belief for me, Ryan. It really is, in my opinion, mate. It's something that needs addressed and needs addressed quickly. In my opinion, there's not a lot. Well, there's a lot of interest, but there's still not enough interest in terms of the national team, is what there should be. And Scotland at Hampden's only starting to become more busier now because the team are doing well. Because when the team don't do well, Hampden's hardly full, right? And we haven't a team like France and Brazil and Spain, and you know, it's had a generation where we've got to World Cup finals and Europa League. I was going to say Euro finals. We've not been blessed with that humongous amount of rare talent. You look at that mob down the road, man. I've never saw so many overrated players in my whole puff who have just all fell flat in their face at the same time now. And it's took a long time for them to realise that they're not as good as what they're made out. I just don't. Unfortunately, up here, like I say, we've not been blessed. We've always been renowned for a team that struggles. We've always been renowned for a team that didn't really do too well, and you know, but essentially the whipping boys of different groups that we were in. No. There's a lot of teams now that don't want us. They don't want to draw us now because they're in for a tough game. They know they're in for a tough game because we seem to have a crop of players now, Ryan, that are able to. They've got a wee bit of belief about them, and I think a wee bit of success in terms of qualifying, because that's the kind of team we are, man. But essentially, you know, we qualified for the Euros, but that's like winning a World Cup to us.
Oh, no.
You remember Glasgow and all about Scotland, and mate, the place was buzzing when we made the Euros. Everywhere was come on in, get free sausage rolls, and it was like the next day after the Euros, and come on in and get a roll and sausage, buy a can of Iron Brew, we'll give you your own sausage free, all that kind of stuff. It was everybody was all buzzing. And even a lot of workplaces, like I know people that work in call centres and stuff, and they had different bunting up and hunters of colours and started naming teams after countries and having competitions, and it just became one big party atmosphere. Why not make it feasible for all these other people who maybe can't afford to go to the game all the time? Make it feasible for them to enjoy that. Mm-hmm. Like you says, put it on the telly. You don't even need to put every game on the telly, but make it more accessible to your average fan who maybe doesn't have the luxury of travelling to see Scotland. People that don't have a car, people that, you know, there's hundreds of different circumstances out there, Ryan, that are really affected. And like you say, channels like Premier Sports, and these channels are hard, Ryan, to get if you've, you know, if you're not out there and you've got all the money and you've got all the, you can't just subscribe to them for one game, mate. They want a month subscription off you, which means you need to pay for a full month, and then before you know it, there's all these daft hidden charges, and it's kind of, in a way, it's kind of false advertising and over them. Pay £9 for a game a night, blah blah. You can't do that. You can't just pay £9 for one game. You can't do that. See, when you go online to try and do that, mate, they want about 6 months fee off, you know, that up front. Forget it. Make it more accessible, as you say, and you'll draw an interest if you do it. Make it more accessible, and I guarantee you draw more an interest. You'll draw more a crowd. You'll draw more not just watching, but people will start to go, do you know what, I want to go to the game.
Aye.
People will eventually start to do that, like through time. They'll start to go, do you know what, I'm not going to watch a game, I'm going to try and get tickets, and they'll go online, or they'll do what they need to do, or they'll go to just say it's an older person, they'll say to their son or daughter, can you book me tickets, can you do this, can you do that? You'll draw more an interest through time if you change your ways. But like I says, mate, it's become too commercialised now, mate, and as I say, I think it's going to be near enough impossible now to change.
No, I agree, mate. In terms of obviously in the lockdown, when the first games came back, Germany, a lot of people don't like German football, but they were watching it because it was football again. I know there was no crowds, but it was like Frankfurt versus Hamburg and all that. You got Borussia Dortmund versus Cologne. You're like, okay, what a game that was, Haaland, but what a player. Because you're watching football again. You're getting a cup of coffee, you're getting your dinner made, you're watching the telly. For that hour, or that 90 minutes, sorry, all you think about is that game again. That's the thing, obviously, it reverts back to Celtic, but in any football, you go to the games, like you say, Celtic games, Scotland games, even last night, right? You're watching the game. Some guys might be watching it at work, some guys might be watching it at the pub, at the game, whatever. Wherever you're for that 90 minutes, all you're thinking about is Scotland, that game. You're not thinking about the living crisis, whatever. It just shows you what football does to people. Then after the game, you go, oh, group chats, oh, what about that, boys, what about that? You go to your bed, but then you wake up the next day, there's no Celtic, there's no Rangers, no Aberdeen, right, for two days now. I'm back to reality again. So it's similar to what Ange did say. Like, I think the game against Rangers, 1-3-0, I hope I helped people for 90 minutes here get away from trouble.
Aye.
That's what for me, football's a working class sport in Scotland. It always has been, I think it always will be. It's a working class sport where we all grew up. You learned your trade from playing in the streets, jumpers for goalposts, and the parks, getting bogging, getting your mum to get you a new pair of shoes every week. That was the way football was. And nowadays, coaching's here now, so Parents are taking their Waynes to these coaching camps and even Celtic coaching camps, but they're charging like £100 a week. No, that you're like, that's not going to get guys into play football. And let's be fair. Listen, I was an apprentice coach years ago, right? And some people would come in and I'm like, but you're only getting some better coaching. They would ask them if they die coaching them. I'm just following a program. I'm not really helping you as much as maybe your dad coach would help you. So, like you say, when the Euros came, JP, there's a big euphoria. Get this free. See, got to a game like Scotland and Ukraine, right? Why can bus travel will be free with your ticket as well? Because Hampden, I'm not going to swear, right? I was going to say a swear word, but it's a hard place to get to sometimes. For Celtic games, you need to either, if you don't drive and you need to park away or on the run, if you get a bus to the game, the coach parks away or there, you need to walk about 15 minutes to the game. If you're walking for the turn, it's about an hour walk, depending how fast you walk, traffic, etc. And then somebody will walk home and the way home as well when it's dark, when it gets to winter nights. So why can you not give bus tickets free for kids or etc. for people to get to the game? This is just going to be for Scotland game. This is just in general. I think it would make the product better because people go, I don't need to pay for my transport. That means I can get money for a programme. It's just wee things. But why is it taking... I'm not saying we've got a platform, but why does it take me and you to talk about this as a fan, on a podcast? This should be implemented for guys who are higher powers. Why are they not talking about it? Because it's money, like you says. They're not going to get money for getting free sausage rolls or free bus travel.
Well, that's it. They're not going to stop wanting to line their own pockets, mate. Do you know what I mean? Because it's going to do them out of coins.
But I just believe that for me, I just think we don't promote our product enough. If it's national football, Celtic, Rangers, Aberdeen, see like the Scotland and Ireland game, right? That for me was a massive game. The countries are very close to each other. Obviously, people are going to mention the Celtic Rangers thing, etc. Right? There's a big thing about Scotland Ireland, right? Especially us getting beat the last game. That wasn't very promoted very well. You didn't see it in billboards, you didn't see it over the radio, you didn't see it. This is the issue here. See if that's promoted everywhere, people go, you know what? I'm not doing nothing Saturday. I'll go and watch that game. It might be 30 quid, but you know what? I'd rather spend 30 quid maybe go to the game or go out shopping and missus, hoarding bags at Primark. I'd rather go and watch a game. But that's wee things, you know what? Scott Ireland, do you know what? Here, babe, I'm going to watch the football. You go yourself.
Hold on a minute. What's wrong with the Prada Mark bags, by the way?
No, let's be fair, mate. Do you really want to sit for an hour with your missus hoarding Primark bags, or do you want to go and watch the football shouting for Scotland? I think I'd rather go and watch Scotland. But things like that, I'm saying.
Depends what Scotland team's it.
I suppose, aye. If Nathan Patterson's right back, I'm not going.
Aye. People know what to sing a national anthem. I don't really want to go and watch it, you know. But
see if it's in your face every half an hour, the radio, billboards, you can't get away from it, so it's going to hit your mind, you know what? I'll go and watch that game. So maybe that few thousand that are empty will get filled. And as well, again, I don't know if they still do it because I don't really know much about what they do ticketing wise for Scotland. But you see the tickets they don't sell, just get to kids. Get to people who are homeless, get to people just because it'll get an interest. And it looks bigger, like you say, if there's 2,000 missing, but if there's 2,000 are full, it looks a lot better.
Yeah.
And I agree with you, mate, in terms of the last bit about that, mate. It is commercialised. It's just all about money.
Oh, definitely.
The fans aspect is totally taken out of the situation. They don't care about the fans because, for me, again, I'm probably going against my own thing here because I want to see Celtic, I want to see Scotland. I'm going to get all this because I want to watch it, right? This is where they've got you with the short and curlies because they know without that, you need, if you don't go to the game, you need to watch it or you're going to go to the pub and spend money at the pub. Or you're going to go to your pal's house and he's going to get you pizzas and whatever. So they know you're going to pay it somehow.
I'm coming to your mate's house, by the way, we get you pizzas and stuff. None of my mates ever do that.
That's bad, by the way. Hospitality should be at home. The guests should get hospitality.
Hospitality starts at home.
It should be pizzas and sausage rolls and wee Wally Winkies. It should be everything.
There's a couple of wee Wally Winkies, but that's not the ones you're thinking.
Right, it's a family show here. Come on. But I
that's how I said wee Wally Winkies.
But I agree with you, mate, in terms of the last bit of yourself on that, mate. I just do think that there should be. I don't think it's not a priority for the SFA. I know it's not right to do this, but longer term, like you say, for kids to maybe go and watch the games, you need to try and do something to get people more into international football. Because let's be fair, I like it. Right? I don't like it in terms of my club side, but I like watching Scotland. I'm a Scotland fan. It's boring friendly sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, you know what, I'm going to watch that because you're playing San Marino. What's the point? But then you end up going, you know what, I'm doing nothing else. I'll watch it. But that could be somebody got to the game, do you know what, I'm doing nothing tonight. I'll just go and watch it. But if it's capped as well, if it's like maybe £15, I might go, do you know what, that tenner that I might have paid could maybe get me to the game. It could maybe get my kid a ticket. So I just think there's wee things like that, JP, that they could tweak to make it a better experience for fans.
Oh, of course, definitely. They could. There's a way to come up. I mean, you spoke about it a while ago on the podcast about a TV channel being set up for the club teams. How can I not be one done for it all? And it's just the SPFL or the SFA or you know. So, like I say, it's just too easy to sit on a table, use your noodle, and come up with a good idea. In my opinion, the big wigs only want to do that because it's going to dent their bank books or their wallets or whatever you want to call it. So, you probably not see that changing, but we can always dream, can't we?
Aye, I think it's something, again, it shouldn't just be me personally, it shouldn't be something that 2 points for East and Glasgow, I think. That should be higher powers to try and make the game better.
Yes.
I just think even in club football side, I don't think like Celtic Hearts or if it's Murnin, Raith Rovers, etc. I don't think the clubs do enough. Obviously, Celtic Rangers on the radio all the time advertising tickets and season books and training gear. But again, obviously I'm not an Aberdeen fan or Raith Rovers fan. I don't know what they do, but I don't see, obviously we're in Glasgow, so I'm not going to see Aberdeen posters, but you never really see it even on Twitter or Instagrams or TikToks or anywhere. You never see things promoted. Like even if you walk about Paisley, I don't see anything about St Mirren anywhere. I don't see. I've been up obviously Dundee a few times. I've been to play. You never see it. The next game is this and that. You never see tickets. You never see advertising enough, in my opinion.
I don't know. I think if you were up there a couple of weeks ago, you'd have saw a few things about St Mirren.
I know. Let's be fair, we beat, so that's probably plastered a bit everywhere, wasn't it? But
I think it was on a podcast out with the Blues, no, that one. They were at the bars, the Blues, and partying and sitting with the balls. I'm always shared on and all that.
I heard that. We were on our podcast. I like that. It was interesting.
It was a good bit of banter, wasn't it?
But lads, must admit, you got that man, but I think we'll be listening something in the season, boys, so I don't think that'll be on your podcast then, boys. But that's fine, boys. You keep chatting away. I didn't like that.
He's won we got him on an episode. We got him on an episode for a bit of banter about that's what he's on there.
No, but in all seriousness, that was a good bit of banter, boys. I like that. But fair play to your victory. But Jack.
See, to be fair, Ryan, to be fair, in their defence, see when we beat big teams, we're happy as well.
that's made their weekend, isn't it? So that's
definitely. See when we beat like Barcelona, or we're chuffed to bits as well. So I can see that. I can see that point.
But in terms of obviously overall, mate, the last wee bit, mate, to end is overall with Scotland, and obviously looking forward to the weekend, which we will do obviously a podcast on Friday, which will obviously come out as well for the pre-match game for Motherwell. But overall, mate, leading to the game and obviously the weekend, and overall, what's your final thoughts?
No, obviously just happy. Well, I don't want to say happy because I'm like you, Ryan. I'm a Scotland fan as well, so I kind of look, especially. I want to see what this current crop of players are capable of doing. I'm intrigued to see where we're going. I know we got to the last Euros. I think it was just too little, too late for the World Cup. I think we'll get to the next Euros. I think we'll do it maybe comfortably this time because we're in pot 2, believe it or not. So obviously, as you come off an international break, it brings us back to what we all love, and that's Celtic. And obviously, I don't know anybody that doesn't look forward to that round. So obviously, looking forward to Saturday, mate. Looking forward to see what Saturday brings. I'm assuming that a fortnight ago was humbling enough for them, and I think they'll come back with a bit between the teeth to start building the next lot of momentum in the league. Don't forget, you're obviously still a couple of points ahead in the league now as well, so you want to continue that as well. And let's hope we don't have any more small hiccups on the road or any more bumps, But you never know. That's the thing with football, and you just never know what's around the corner. I really can't see it though. I really don't. I just don't. Not every team's going to set up against us the way St Mirren did either. So, but we're at Celtic Park, so I'm expecting Celtic to come out with a reaction. But moving forward, mate, I'm looking forward to it. What about yourself?
I think that's the thing, mate. Obviously, we'll speak about it before the game on Saturday, but I think a reaction will be on the front of the manager and the players came in for the national break.
Is he back now?
Who, Ange? I don't know if he's back yet.
He had to go to the country, remember?
Oh, he got to the country, get away for all this, didn't he?
He had to get away for all, remember? He said that, didn't he? I don't know if he's back. I don't know if he's still sitting a beach somewhere, kind of reflecting on the game, mate. In fact, that's what he was saying. He was talking about his homecoming that we're going to. That's right, his homecoming.
But yeah, if you listen to the media, Andrew's won away because we get beat. But again, if it suits your agenda, you can read the papers. But in terms of going forward, mate, I am the same as you. I'm a Scotland fan, but I do look forward to Celtic coming back. Like you say, we've said in previous pods, mate, it's starting to get to the way. Again, I keep mentioning this as well. The start of Rodgers' era, we are looking forward to every game. I can't wait to watch go to Celtic Park again. Are we going to win 2-3? I know we get beat, but that's the way you're still feeling. I know we get beat after St Mirren, but you're still expecting to go to Celtic Park and come all guns blazing. That's the way you expect Celtic Park under Ange now. You can't say anything different just because we get beat. Doesn't mean we get beat last year 3 out of the first 6 games, and look what happened. So one defeat's not going to. It shouldn't be a detriment. But again, like you says, mate, football's football. We can only go on the base of facts, i.e. the St Mirren game. Before that game, everything we says, we won the line. That was based on facts. And now
of course.
And now we've got beat. You go, right, okay, you beat in this game. Tiny bit cautious into the game now, right? Just go and get, I'm not saying go out and win 7-0. Just go and get the 3 points now. And then we build again. Because let's be fair, mate, we've been beat, twice in a year? So...
Well, that's it, and that's the thing. You just want to... It's all about momentum, Ryan. It's all about building again. It's all about momentum. And I think what a way to do it in a game at home in front of your own fans. Well, there's going to be a big crowd. Let's face it. Probably, I'd imagine, even the general sell out as well, because that's what it's like now under Ange Manti. Everybody's there to see it being entertained. Guys like Jota, Kyogo, classics, and they get, as I say, the games come thick and fast. So after that, you're rolling on to going out to Germany, Leipzig, etc., and we move on, mate.
Like you say, mate, just to end it there, a lot of games going forward. Again, if you like the content, this episode and previous contents, we've got a lot of good guests previously on. Obviously, Barry Bannon, Alan Thompson, Kevin Wilson. Their episodes are still there. In the future, there will be a lot of guests working on behind the scenes to provide for the fans. You can get us on YouTube. Please like and subscribe. You get a wee bell when we go live. We're on YouTube. Sure. Obviously, we're on YouTube, as I says. We're on TikTok. JP's on his TikTok as well. Give you a follow. Twitter as well. I'm on Twitter. JP's on Twitter. On a YouTube, just type in the name of the podcast and start to view, and it will come up on your feed. Again, JP, brilliant to chat to you obviously about Scotland as well. But again, leading up to Celtic. A good chat, mate. Good to be back. And the two Ronnies back with a bang, I would say, mate. But again, mate, thanks for your time, mate. Hail, and we'll look forward to the game at the weekend.
Hail, Ryan.